Liverpool were robbed. Daylight robbery at the end there. What a game of football. Another fantastic advert for the Premier League. This title race genuinely is going down to the wire. Arsenal sit top of the league now. Liverpool and Manchester City following. What a game of football. Genuinely breathtaking. A tennis match, end to end, a ping pong rally. It had everything. Potential red cards, penalties, VAR checks, last ditch tackles, off the bars, the post. It had absolutely everything. If you're new to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button. We just hit 2,000 yesterday, and now we're on the verge of it in 2,200. The support is insane. And if you're enjoying the content, drop a like. But Liverpool won, Manchester City won, the game of two halves. Genuinely breathtaking football from both teams. And Arsenal will be licking their lips as they're now top of the league, but they're going to have to be at their very, very best to beat Liverpool and City to the title. But we're gonna get into it. The first half, Man City complete control, domination from minute 1 to minute 45. Manchester City were the better team there. I don't care what anyone says for the first half. They were electric. It had absolutely everything that first half. You know, the goal come from Manchester City, come from a set piece. Kevin De Bruyne, like this guy is just the delivery on that set piece. Like you can't describe that. That's off the training ground. He's on the money, and in swinger, John Stones makes a run, volleys it, it hits Kelleher, it goes in. Manchester City go 1-0 up. And Guardiola, to my knowledge, still has not beat Jurgen Klopp at Anfield. And they had a great start to the game. They controlled the game. And then ever since, kind of from like the 35th to the 45th minute, Liverpool had a good end to the half. And then you poke the beast. You poke the beast. There's no team, there's no stadium, there's no atmosphere. If you're an away team, the one stadium, as a Spurs fan, I hate because we haven't won there in so long. But it doesn't matter if you're in the Europa League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Premier League, whatever competition you are playing in, you do not want to play at Anfield. That stadium was rocking from minute 1 to minute 90. Even when they went 1-0 behind, they're trying to rally their troops. They're trying to grab their team through it. The emotions. It had absolutely everything, that game. And at halftime, I don't know what Jurgen Klopp says, but from minute 45 to minute 90, Liverpool were better than City. It was the game of two halves. It didn't help that, you know, around the obviously Manchester City gave away a penalty. I don't know what Ake's thinking there. He passed it back to Edison. Edison just smashes him up in the air. I mean, Nunes basically got back body drop WWE style for a table. And then McAllister slots the penalty away. And then shortly after that, Edison goes off and you're thinking, right, Liverpool have gotten by the jugular. Go for the win. And they gave you absolutely everything. Luis Diaz, Duracell battery Diaz. That guy could run a marathon. He is elite. Does not stop running down that left-hand side. He created chances. And Ortega Moreno comes on. I actually thought he did relatively well. Lots of smart saves. Not the best with his feet. Obviously, Edison's much, much better with his feet. Liverpool missing key players today. No Jota, no Trent, no Alisson. Salah come on. Didn't do too much, in my opinion. But the last 30 minutes was chaos. It was absolute chaos. VAR checks. Kelleher punches the ball onto Foden. Then it hits the crossbar. Salah, I mean, Diaz had the game in his hand practically. The game in his hand had 3 clear-cut chances. Salah had a couple of good chances as well. You know, just a fantastic game of football. 2 juggernauts of the Premier League and European football going head-to-head. And both games at the Etihad and Anfield were a draw. And we go into the remainder of the season. Liverpool, Manchester City, and Arsenal separated by 1 point. It's 10 finals now for Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. Arsenal have probably got, I would say, the easier of fixtures in the short term. Chelsea at home. Obviously, City away is incredibly difficult. But then they've got Luton, Brighton, Villa, and Wolves. And then when you look at Manchester City's game, I mean, I think there's something like 23 games unbeaten. They've got Arsenal is their next Premier League game. They've got an FA Cup quarter final, I believe, next Saturday. Then they've got Villa at home, Palace, Luton. There's no easy game in the Premier League, but I genuinely think this will go down. I think where the Premier League will be won is if Manchester City beat Arsenal and Liverpool drop points that weekend, City win the league. If Arsenal beat City and Liverpool drop points that weekend, if that game's a draw between Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool win their games in hand, like Tottenham, my football club genuinely could decide the Premier League. We've got to play Manchester City away and Liverpool away. And we've got to play Arsenal at home. And Tottenham are such an unpredictable team, smashing 4 goals past Villa. This is what we do. When no one expects us to turn up, we go and get the result. But when we're expected to turn up, we struggle. But I don't want to talk about Tottenham because today this is about Liverpool and Man City. I think Liverpool were robbed, and we're going to talk about that right now. Jeremy Doku could have won the game. He hit the post. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Doku. I think he's just a better version of Adama Traore. He's explosive. He's got pace. He's powerful. He lacks cutting edge, though. In the final third, I don't think he's good enough for Manchester City's. Like, when you look at the wingers they've had in the last 5 years, Leroy Sané, Gabriel Jesus, you know, Sterling, Mahrez, then he's nowhere near the level. He hits the post, but what on earth is he doing? Daylight robbery. Daylight robbery, that is. We have just witnessed daylight robbery right there. That, honestly, to me, is insane. Insane how that is not a penalty. It's a high foot. He catches some of the ball, but the follow-through, he basically boots him in the chest. Anywhere else on the pitch, that's a yellow card. Anywhere else on the pitch, that's potentially a sending off. It's the very end of the game. All the emotions, the drama, it had absolutely everything. But how that is not given as a penalty, genuinely, I don't know. Anywhere else on the pitch, and he gets sent off there. And I believe Liverpool should have had a penalty at the end. And you know, Mo Salah's for the big occasion, or McAllister's very good penalty taker. Liverpool probably go and win that 2-1 from the penalty, which then puts Liverpool on 66 points, Manchester City on 62, and Arsenal on 64. Genuinely, I don't understand that. I think the referees bottled that. I think any other league, any other international competition, that's a red card. Like, I don't know what you guys think. I'll be interested to hear your comments. So make sure you let me know down below. Was that a penalty? Were Liverpool robbed? In the second half, I thought City capitulated. They went from being a shark to a tadpole. They weren't the City we know, the brilliance of tick-a-tack, higher press, one-touch pass and move. There wasn't really any runners in behind. Foden and Haaland were basically, you would need a sat-nav to find them second half. I don't think they really got into the game the second half. I think Liverpool, their press was brilliant. Their midfield three of Szoboszlai, McAllister and Endo worked brilliantly. Kevin De Bruyne was subbed off. He wasn't too happy. He threw an arm back at Guardiola. It was like throwing toys at the pram. And I get that. It's a very big game. There's a lot on the line, the title race. And I could understand that from De Bruyne's perspective, but from Guardiola's perspective, they are getting absolutely pumped left, right, and centre right there. And it's going to be a very, very interesting remainder of the title race. How is City going to cope with that? Ederson, kind of changes the dynamic in the way they play, playing it out from the back. And Liverpool right now, I don't know how they're doing this. You're talking about a team going up against the champions of the world with no Alisson, no Trent, Salah only coming on the 70th minute, no Jota. It's insane. No Konate as well. And Manchester City were at their peak of their powers in terms of availability in that team. And Liverpool have gone and punched them. It was a boxing match. If you're talking a boxing match, that's Liverpool battering Manchester City for the last 6 rounds and the referee calling it a draw. But look, it's like I said, it's a fantastic advert. If you're a Premier League fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, if you're a City fan, if you're a neutral fan, it's glorious to watch. It really is absolutely elite football at the highest level. And now we go into the remainder of the title race. 10 finals for City, 10 finals for Liverpool, 10 finals for Arsenal. City has still got to play FA Cup against Newcastle. Liverpool have still got to play FA Cup away to Man United. And Arsenal will be licking their lips now because they don't play another game now, I believe, for about 3 weeks or 2 weeks after the Porto game. But look, we are going to wrap up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching, and I am out.